What's up guys? Today on Film Photography Talk, I want to talk to you about the Fujifilm Instax cameras. Now, I was just reading a news article the other day. It's a bit of an old article back from 2016. I think it was April 2016. Fuji reported that the Instax series of cameras is actually their #1 selling series of cameras, and that's competing against their digital line, the X line of cameras and everything. Now the X line of cameras is really nice, but it is digital, and you've got to consider too, there are a couple of factors that really play into this. The first factor is that we've got a new generation of people that are interested in film photography and instant photography. And we've also got an older generation that wants to see it come back. And so we've got these two groups that are sort of intersecting with this one camera, this Fujifilm Instax Mini or the Fujifilm Instax Wide series of cameras, and soon to be Instax Square as well. So we've got a lot of support for the Instax cameras, and Fuji's really seeing that with their cells. You also have to buy film for these cameras, so you've got to consider that that product line in general is going to be doing a lot better, because how many people buy a camera but do not buy the film for it? I know that I've spent a fortune on film, not because the film is really expensive, but because I just buy so much of it. The camera that I've really enjoyed using and that I continue to use, and that's why I buy film so often. Now, something else to consider is the X series of cameras, which is their second best selling line, is digital. And so how often do you buy a digital camera? I know that I buy one every like 5 or 6 years, depending on the technology, maybe a little bit sooner than that, just depending on what's out on the market. But with film cameras, they come out with so many different lines, and they're a lot more affordable. These are anywhere from, you can get an Instax camera anywhere from around 50 to 150 bucks, depending on the model and the age of it and all sorts of things like that. But you've got to consider, when you can get a couple of these for the price of one digital camera, people are going to be more apt to buy these as a sort of like a instantaneous purchase, a really spur of the moment type thing, because they're not as expensive as, say, a digital camera. The X series of cameras is quite expensive in comparison to the Instax. Of course, they're not even, you can't even begin to compare a digital camera to a film camera. They're not even in the same realm there. I just think it's really exciting that this was a year ago that Fuji reported that. Now we're still waiting on this year's sales reports from Fuji because we don't have that information. I can't find it anywhere online, and I'm excited to see how that's even grown. Now, back when these Instax cameras first started out, they reported that they were selling about 1 million cameras a year, which is not that great for a company that's developing a new line of product. However, now this was last year, they reported selling 6.5 million cameras, and I think it was 2015 or 2016, which is pretty awesome considering that they're making that big of a jump and that big of a progression compared to where they started out. There's definitely not a decline in Instax photography, and in fact it's becoming more and more popular, and I think that's something that's awesome for the film photography community. Let me know in the comments what you think about all of this, and if you own an Instax camera. If you don't own an Instax camera, do you plan on getting one? I know I really love mine, and I will see you guys later.